my gosh. I forget how heavy these lead acids are. This is a 55 amp hour lead acid. This thing left me stranded, and I have had so many close calls, more than I count. So I immediately wrote 50 amp hours off because, well, basically it would last me less than half a day. And the more I used it, the more the discharge rate would drop off, meaning I'm going slower and slower and slower and slower over the course of like an hour and a half until it's nothing. And it's super heavy. But my mind has been completely changed about the power of 50 amp hours. Listen, this is half the size of my 100 amp hour. This is a fraction of the weight. I mean, this thing weighs, I think it's 11 pounds and some change. Like, this is the best portable, lightest solution if you're not looking for 2 or 3 full days on the water. If you're just looking to get out for a nice day, this is the way to go. 50 amp hours is great. Now, I'm still going to be running 100 amp hours because why not? But this is definitely my backup battery. And this kind of goes for all 50 amp hour lithium batteries, but we're going to use Redodo's battery as today's example. Okay, so what's really cool about this is a lead acid of the same size. So that lead acid right there, you can really only use 40 to 50% of it before you start losing voltage, going too slow, and potentially harming your trolling motor and harming your battery. But with the lithium, you can actually use 100%. Now, some batteries are different. My 100 amp hour lithium, you should really only use about 90. But this is designed to use 100% of your battery. So you paid for 50 amp hours, baby. You are getting 50 amp hours. And that's why this battery lasts so much longer than some other competitors, but mostly any 50 amp hour lead acid on planet Earth. This is designed to run at least twice as long as that other battery. It's the same size. Actually, this one's a little bit smaller and a fraction of the weight. That lead acid is a 45-pound battery. This is 11 pounds. You can pick it up with your pinky, no problem, and that is pretty nuts. This battery is rated from 4,000 to 15,000 cycles and comes with a 5-year warranty and has an estimated lifespan of 10 years. It also has a built-in system called BMS, and basically that protects it from any sort of surges, overcharging, all sorts of stuff like that. All that mumbo-jumbo is a little bit more complex than what we need in our boats, or what we need to know about putting batteries in our boats. But point being, this is safe and it's not going to harm itself. It's fully maxed out. You're charging it. You're not going to overcharge it and harm it. It'll automatically cut the power. And I know what you're thinking. Grayson, this is going to be significantly more expensive than your lead acid. I'll tell you right now, that lead acid right there, that is basically worthless at this point, cost me $120. And this is running about $160, $170 on sale right now. So you're paying just a little bit more for a lithium battery that is going to double your time on the water. Could potentially even triple, because you're not going to go to 90% on your lead acid. Even you might hit 60 or 70 or 80, but if you're going 90, 100%, I mean, you're running at 10 volts and your motor's just sputtering. I'll pop up the discharge rate real quick. I've talked about this whole topic more in depth, but we'll pop it up just again to kind of prove to you that lithium is superior in terms of a trolling motor battery and a lot of other wide applications. I do want to say you cannot use these as starting or cranking batteries. You're still going to have a lead acid different starting battery for that. But let's hop into the boat. I'm going to give you my first impressions and what I really like about it. And I'm going to bring this up in the video, but it comes with these little caps over the terminals. First of all, it's the terminals that screw in with a screwdriver or your hand. I love those. The lead acid, you have to literally have a bolt in a socket. But it comes with these little caps that you can slip over the positive and negative, which basically means at the boat ramp, you don't need a screwdriver. You don't even need to touch the metal. They have these safe little rubbers that you can they look like nipples if I'm being honest, but you can grab it like this and easily grip it. It's kind of hard to grip the bolt, especially when things are wet. But with this, unscrew it, slip it in, good to go. You'll see in my first impressions on the water coming up that I actually like this better than the quick connect terminals on my $80 battery box. Anyway, let's hop in the boat. I'm curious to see how it functions. My 100 amp hour lithium lasts all day and then even another full day the next day. So I'm curious. We're gonna go out and we're gonna see how this thing functions. It's a great option. It is extremely light. Like, it is extremely light, and it's very small. My previous battery box would take up the entire space back here, and this basically weighs nothing. So I'm definitely excited to hook it up, and we're gonna hook it up to the fish finder, make sure we're running the proper voltage, proper speeds, all that fun stuff. and we're just gonna go out. It's a windy day here. We're gonna kind of stay in the cove a little bit, but let's see what this thing's made of. I'm curious. Do you need to splurge for the 100 amp hour, or is the 50 amp hour perfect for what you need? Let's find out. Okay, cool thing about this is it's got these little caps that slide on, and it makes it able to use your finger to loosen and tighten the terminals. So this should be super easy. Unscrew, slip it in. Well, that was pretty easy. Unscrew it, slip it in, and we've got power. Double check here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, let's hook up the fish finder, check our voltage. This might be easier than my Newport battery box with the quick connect and disconnect terminals. I might actually like this system better. Just easier. And we have power. 14 volts, holy crap. All right, we're hooked up, ready to go. Now we just gotta launch. I gotta get the boat ready, and I'll see you in the water. So, little guy's doing good, holding steady at 12.9, exactly where I want, exactly what it says. Actually, it says 12.8. And this is perfect. This little dude, look how much more room there is. Usually there's a huge box here that takes up all this space, but this is perfect. Look at that. I even have room for my dry storage right here. Flip that around. Now the real test is gonna be how long is it gonna last. Today is more of a performance test to just see if it works and what we're reading out and what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna throw on the GoPro. We're gonna fish for a little bit, and I'm gonna keep an eye on that, and I'll let you know. So I found this little cut right here, just this little pathway into what looks like just fishy territory. We're gonna go see if we can get our little boat up in here. This is where these little boats shine for crap like this. Or we might get stuck. I'm good with either. Got a foot of water. Oh yeah. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, it's kind of deep here. 2.5 foot. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I wasn't even really supposed to fish today. I just wanted to get out on the water, see how this thing worked, see how the voltage looked, and just get an overall feel for it. But I ended up being on the water for over 3 hours. That's just how it goes when I film these videos. I can't help but fish. Overall, this battery crushed it. It gave me plenty of power. I didn't drop a single volt. I was going full speed, and this was a half a day fishing. I feel pretty confident that I could last a full day. So stay tuned, because the next upcoming video regarding this battery is I'm going to go out on a full day and see if I can drain it and how quick it takes. Well, I'm back home now, and this little 50 amp hour battery whooped my butt, man. It outlasted me today. Sometimes I can go 8 hours, but I had to call it at about 3.5 hours today. And my battery voltage meter, for some reason, doesn't work. It's reading out at 100%. I know for a fact it's not 100%, but 3.5 hours, and I'm still running, according to my fish finder, full voltage, which means that we haven't dropped much. Usually with lithium, you only drop voltage once you're in the last 20%. So I know for a fact that I went for a half a day trip, And well, I didn't drop a single volt. I really like the quick connect little rubber knobs. That honestly is really nice, and I cannot believe how light it is. That is pretty nuts. If you enjoy these different battery tests and comparison, definitely stick around to the channel. And if you are looking for a really solid, reliable, and affordable battery, please check out Redodo. Thank you so much for sending me a sample unit. I am definitely going to keep this in the arsenal. It's going to be a great backup battery. And when I build my second boat, it will probably go in that boat full time as well. You can click the link in my description. I do get a little kickback, but I hope you enjoyed the overall overview of, is 50 amp hours enough? Well, obviously, I think it sure is. Happy boating, tight lines, and God bless.